All right, what's up? What's up? What's up? Let me know if y'all can hear me. Can I get an audio check? Audio check. Check one, two. Check one, two. All right, good now. Good. We're good. We're good. Okay, cool. Everybody saying there we go. Bet. Getting everything here. Getting everything set up here. It's not too low, is it? Y'all let me know. It's not too low, is it? Y'all forgive me. I'm a little discombobulated. Had to get a little girl to sleep and everything, but it is what it is. We here. So, oh man, y'all, what's up? What's up? I want to formally welcome you guys to the pilot episode of the evening recharge with Tech King Mike. I'm gonna get into the comments and to the chat just to kind of holler at everybody. One lock just sticking out looking crazy. I'm gonna get into the chat in a second just to welcome everybody in. Uh, but I kind of wanted to just let you guys know what this show is going to be tonight and what it's going to be moving forward. I got my water cup over here because I'm a little thirsty. But guys, this is going to be a little bit different than my normal live streams. Pretty much going to be the new format moving forward. This is where tonight and every night, Monday through Friday night, we're going to sit down for about an hour and we're just going to recharge. That's what this is. We're just going to recharge. We're just going to talk about what happened in tech today, different news, articles, stuff on Twitter, YouTube videos, just kind of, talk, have a little discourse with each other. If anything, at some point in time in the stream, we'll also have a little bit of back and forth with the chat because I would love to pose questions to you guys and have everybody chime in. But I'm really excited about this. This idea was pitched to me by a friend of the channel. Some of you may know him, Roberto Blake. And I actually, upon talking with him a little bit more about it, felt like, yo, this might really be something that I would want to do. So here we are. That being said, I'm going to jump into the chat just to kind of welcome everybody into the show. So we have Ghost Dog 54 is in the building. What's up, Ghost Dog? Good to see you, sir. Passive Aggressor is in the house. We have Raymond Williams is in the building. We have Mr. Genosis is in the house. Jojo the Techie is in the building. We have BG Tech Life in here. What's good, BG? Good to see you. Good to see you. Got my man's Technically T in the building. What up? What up? Let's see here. Who else we got? D Mims is in the building. Wayne Train, what's good? What's good? Appreciate that. He said clean audio. We got T. Holla in the building. He said Duval. What's good? What's good? What's good? T. Holla. Good to see you, sir. Good to see you. The Tech Preacher is in the building. What up, Tech Preacher? Good to see you, sir. Good to see you, Eric. And let's see. Genosa said Roberto is a goat. Man, Roberto is awesome, man. Roberto is awesome. And for the amount of information and for the amount of things that Roberto pitched and me and him, like just looking at, what he did as far as the concept, really dope, like really dope. And I really appreciate him for it because to be honest with you guys, this is the first episode. So everything's kind of, tomorrow will be a little bit better. But to be honest with you, I was kind of at a place with YouTube where I was struggling a little bit to figure out how I wanted to continue my YouTube channel. I had the Saturday Night Tech Fights for a while, and obviously everybody loved those. But the truth of the matter with the Tech Fights is that it was just really hard to keep those going. It's hard to coordinate those events with so many different people, so many different schedules. You got different time zones. And as my life began to change between, being single again and then having a family again and having kids and a lot of stuff, it just, it was just a lot. So we are going to, in time, have something similar to that. We'll talk about that later on in the show. But really, I kind of felt like, man, Tech King Mike is nothing if I don't have a phone in my hand or if I don't have, something to talk about. That's where I started to feel. So I kind of had to go back to my roots and realize I started my YouTube channel because I wanted to be able to just talk to people. Just want to talk to people about tech. People like my mom and dad who pay no attention to what's going on in the mobile tech or computer landscape or whatever. My dad thinks that 8 gigabytes of RAM and 256 gigabytes of storage on a Windows computer is enough. Dad, if you're watching, it's not. It's not. It's not. And Now for the little things that he may do, obviously, it might be, but for me personally, I felt like, nah. And even another example, using my dad as another example. At one point in time, he wanted to switch to the Pixel, ran into a lot of issues doing it, ended up going back to the iPhone. And during that time, I wondered to myself, what could I have done to have helped him out in that process instead of just, kind of being like, man, is what it is. And I wondered how many more people are going through similar situations. So that's what the concept of this show is going to be. This is pretty much going to be your evening show to just basically come kick it with me and we're just going to talk. Same way I'm looking at the camera, I'm looking at you. It's like me and you just sitting in the house chilling, just talking about some stuff that happened today. So I have a few things queued up tonight. It was very last minute. Like I said, trying to get everything together. It was very last minute, but tomorrow will be better. And hopefully, as we continue, we'll have some more things going on. I'd love to get some more graphics and a lot of cool things. Maybe, dive into the OBS world or whatever and get a few things going. I'm gonna raise the seat up a bit. So hopefully, and not hopefully, we will continue to get better every episode. Also, as I put in the description of this show, I'm working on making sure that the audio from each episode will be available on your favorite streaming platform in addition to your favorite podcast app. I'm pretty sure that might be the same thing, but either way it goes, that's how it's going to be. So, yeah, it's pretty much where we're at. So let's see. We're going to catch up on the chat just for another second. So Jojo the Techie said, cool, it's a good idea. Thank you, Jojo. I appreciate it. Let's see. We got Micah Alexander's in the building. He said, Tech King Mike in the building. What up with you, Micah? Good to see you, sir. Good to see you. Holla at your boy in the building. He said, hey, what's up with you, man? Good to see you, sir. Good to see you. Real quick, I want to make sure that I get a few disclaimers out of the way. All right. So this is not in any way, shape, or form to step on the toes of any other creators. I want to make sure I put that out there. You guys know, if you guys have been following me for a while and you know me, you know that I'm in no way, shape, or form that type of a guy. There are constantly people streaming Monday through Friday. And if I run over anyone's time or anything of that nature, my job is not to step on anyone's toes. If anything, I want people to be able to check out more of our community. And that is the purpose of this show, is not just for me, but it's just for the community in itself. So there will be links in the descriptions Monday through Friday of different channels and different streams that I know may be going on at the same time as mine. So therefore, if you want to go check them out, by all means, please go check them out, because at the end of the day, the table is big enough for everybody to eat, and we are all here for the same reason. We're here to have fun, we're here to talk tech, and we're here to just vibe out. So whether it's Monday night with Technically T, Tuesday night with Gadget Goddess, Wednesday night, I believe you have the Tech Preacher and the Wired Ones. Thursday night used to be me and Ike. Ike, if you're watching, my man, we need you back. Ike's Tech Talk, we need you back if you're watching. And if anybody who's watching this that knows Ike, tag him in this clip. We need you back, Ike. And then, of course, Friday, you got Holla at Your Boy. And there are so many other channels that stream Monday through Friday. So, hey, if you know anybody, put them in the comments and, yeah, share the love, man. Share the love. Let's see. Dwayne Mims said, my mom was always finding issues with her Android, switched her to an iPhone, and the tech support calls have dropped dramatically. Mims, listen, I don't get a lot of tech support calls, okay? So, D Mims, I don't get a lot of tech support calls. But what I do get is little things that you would think that would be so obvious, but they're not. Recently, my parents, one of their iPhones stopped charging via the Lightning port, because I think my family's still using iPhone 11s or 12s. I'm not really sure. And they were not aware of the fact that they could just keep charging their phone wirelessly instead of having to pay to get it fixed, which they didn't want to. You could just buy a wireless charging pad and go about it that way. So it's amazing the simple things, right? It's amazing the simple things. And one of the things that we're going to talk about tonight on the subject of Apple is we're going to start with the iPhone 16e. Now, I had an article that I wanted to talk about, and I ended up having to reset the computer and completely lost it. So I'll have it I'll if I find it, I'll link it in the description. But it was essentially saying, talking about how, we have people like Tim Cook who say things like, just buy your mother an iPhone, just buy your grandma an iPhone. But I think that at this time in 2025, I feel like we're at a point where it's not that simple anymore. It's not that simple. I see the real savages in the building. What up with your real savage? Good to see you. Good to see you. Let's see. Micah Alexander said OnePlus Open is king. Just throwing that out there. Micah, we're gonna talk about that soon as I get done talking about this iPhone 16e. That is one of the big things that I wanted to talk about tonight was the OnePlus Open. So, Micah, just hang out with me, brother. I promise you, we're gonna get there. I promise you. Uchbra is in the building. What's up, Uchbra? Good to see you. Gwendolyn G is in the house. Hello, Gwendolyn. Good to see you. Good to see you. And my man, Big John Tech Reviews. He said, yo, Mike, my friend, good evening, sir. Hope all has been well with you and the family. Big John, likewise to you as well, sir. Great to see you in here this evening. But oh man, let's see. We already got some people in here saying ain't nothing to talk about but this about with the 16E. Listen, we need to talk about the 16E, man, because I've seen a lot of back and forth on Twitter. Okay, if you guys don't know, the iPhone 16E just recently came out. So I tell you what, we're gonna go to Apple's website. Okay, we're gonna go to apple.com and I'm gonna pull this up here. Let's see if I can pull this up here. See if I can present in let's see, share my screen with you guys. All right, let's see. Hold on. Had to allow a couple settings to Google Chrome may not be able to record the contents of a screen until it is quit. Oh, okay. Now, all right, that's on me. I did not get that set up in the settings. I did not get that set up in the settings on my Mac, but let's see here. So, okay, there we go. I got it. All right. If you guys are seeing this, you should be seeing the iPhone 16e on Apple's page. So we're going to go to learn more because we're going to talk about this convoluted device and and some of the things that I have seen about it, because quite frankly, like I have seen quite a bit about it, and there are a lot of people who just don't like this phone. But I want to explain why it's not that bad. So let's see here. Let's go back to the chat. And let's see. Gwendolyn said it comes out Friday. Yes, it does. BG Tech Life said the 16E is a robbery, no gun. Uchbra says, I wouldn't even complain about the 16E if they included MagSafe and made it $100 cheaper. Okay, so Uchbra, you bring me to my first con of this device. No MagSafe. That's the first con of the device, is no MagSafe. The second con of the device would be the price. But here's the reason why it's not a big con for me. You have to think about the fact that the iPhone SE, okay, the iPhone SE, the most recent iPhone SE that we had, was literally shaped and molded to look just like the iPhone 8. A phone that is, to my knowledge, 8 years old, which looked like the iPhone 7, which was very similar to the iPhone 6S, I should say. And I just feel like if you look at what we're getting with this device, we're getting the action button, we're getting Apple Intelligence. I can't even say it without laughing. we're getting Apple Intelligence. And we're getting USB-C. Okay, so there are a few pros to this device. There are a few pros to it, but I don't think that this device, as with a lot of devices that come out nowadays, this device is not for techies. Okay, this device is not for techies. This device is the iPhone you buy for your grandmother. Okay, this is the one you buy for your grandmother. This is the one that you buy for someone who is still using an iPhone 11, an iPhone 12. Mom, I'm talking to you. Who is used to the notch, who is used to the overall feel of their phone. Someone who is so set in their ways that a dynamic island, a camera control button, a bigger screen, the 6.8, 6.9, whatever pulse screen that we have now. That's just too, they look at that and they're like, I don't know what's going on. I'm gonna call my son, I'm a nephew, I'm a daughter, I'm a whatever, and I'm gonna get them to tell me what's going on. This is the phone that when they call you, if you're the tech support for your family, this is when you either tell them one of two things. You either ask them, the first question you ask them is, how much do you love Apple? Okay. That's the first question you ask them is how much do you love Apple? And if their answer to that question is I only want an iPhone, all right, then bet. Pitch them this phone. Because with their trade-in of the device that they have, they're probably going to get it down below $599. I see you guys talking in the chat. I'm gonna get to the chat in just a second. But if the second question you ask them is, if you ask them that question and they say, not really, I'm looking for a change. Oh, well, then I'd love to introduce you to the Samsung Galaxy S24 FE, currently retailing for $499.99 on Amazon. The Google Pixel 4, Google Pixel 8a, the Google Pixel 9a, which is on its way. You can get a used iPhone 15. You can get you can get an iPhone 16, which has more features than this phone, better cameras, and it's only $100 more. There are so many devices that are better than this phone. But Apple has got this thing cornered where they know their market, and it's almost sickening how easy it is for them to be able to do this. But let's see. Let's just, I mean, we all know the most of it, but I mean, beautiful, durable, built to last. Okay, that's what you say. That's what you say. Drop dead gorgeous, drop tested. Screen's still gonna be shattered. The screen is still gonna be shattered. We got tougher than any smartphone glass, a fast track to your favorite feature, USB-C. We got Face ID. Okay, we got Face ID finally. Face ID being on the phone might be a good thing for some, might not be. All right. Let's see. One of the few things that I would like to see how this thing works, though, and I think I saw it in the chat. So I'm going to go back to the chat and I'm going to say, here we go. Gwendolyn G said, I can't wait to hear how the new Apple modem performs. That is one thing about this phone that I am curious about. I want to know how the modem is going to do, because if it does good, this is what we're going to see in the next 17 Pro, Pro Max, whatever. I think it's going to do great. I think it's going to do great. Now, I'm going to catch up on the chat because there are quite a few comments in the chat that I feel like line up with a few of my thoughts. So first off, we're going to go to Holla at Your Boy. So they need to change it from Apple Intelligence to Apple Unintelligence. Hey, it could be Bixby. Okay? It could be Bixby. I've been running the Galaxy S25 Ultra for a few weeks, and I want to throw this phone every time I need to use Bixby. Apple Intelligence ain't the smartest thing in the world, but it's got Bixby beat. I can tell you that much. It's got Bixby beat. So it could be worse. It ain't the bottom of the barrel. This is saying, BG Tech Life says, this is saying, hey, Apple, give me a $450 phone and add $150 for no reason. He's not wrong. He's not wrong. Said iPhone 15 Black renewed premium $530. Boom, there you go. That's what I'm saying. Brand new Pixel 9 on their sale dates. DMM said, I'm big on get a used phone. iPhone 14 renewed premium $445. The 13 mini product red would smoke this. Now, this is another thing that gets me about this phone. Why couldn't y'all just give us a mini? Who wanted this? I think I speak for the overwhelming majority of the tech community, and quite frankly, the overwhelming majority of people who had the SE phones, because the SE phones, if you think about it, we had the first iPhone SE, which was about this big. Okay. The first iPhone SE was about this big. So you see how small it is in my hand, right? Then we had the iPhone SE that we just got rid of. And I think that the smaller form factor would have been perfect for the SE, man. Like they could have took all those iPhone minis that they didn't sell and just made it this. It would have been perfect. It would have been perfect. Uchibra says, although the battery life on the 60E might be something to look out for. It might be. It might be. But look at the compromise that you're getting for that battery life. The thing is that there's always going to be a catch to it, okay? There's always going to be a catch to it. So, all right, let's see. F the Mini, give me a Mini Pro. Genosis says, give me a Mini Pro. What's that new battery tech on the OnePlus 13? Slap that into a Mini Pro. Apple ain't gonna slap no new battery in no phone no time soon. Nothing like what Android is doing. But that's pretty much it when it comes to the iPhone 16e. There are some good and some bad. Depends on how you look at it. You know, you're either looking at the glass half full or you're looking at it half empty. But it is what it is. Now. I'm going to get to my man, Micah Alexander, because this This is a heartbreaking thing for me, bro. This is a heartbreaking thing for me. So we're gonna go back and share the screen again, and let's see here. We're gonna go back. All right, so I gotta fix what we're sharing. Hold on 1 second. Remove. Oh, all right, all right, let's see here. So if I can figure out how to get it added to the screen, I will. Y'all forgive me. Y'all forgive me. Y'all forgive me. Okay, there we go. I think I got it now. All right. So let's talk about the OnePlus Open 2, the best phone that's not gonna happen. This right here. Okay. When I tell y'all that this right here is breaking my heart in the worst way, this is horrible, man. Now, drink your water. Now, here's the thing. I didn't get a chance to try the OnePlus Open. I did try the Z Fold 6. Okay. I've tried every fold. I've tried almost every Z Fold except for the original Fold 1 and I believe the original Fold 2. But the OnePlus Open was the first folding phone that offered, excuse me, the OnePlus Open was the first folding phone that I feel like offered, in addition to the Google Pixel Fold, a real, like not even a competitor, a better alternative than the Galaxy Fold. The OnePlus Open was amazing. All right. The OnePlus Open was amazing. I didn't get a chance to personally use it, but it was one of the few phones that I didn't see one bad review about. Not a single one, from the camera to the build quality, everything. I did see some reports of people having issues with the screen, but also it's a folding phone. What are you going to do? Like there are some things that are kind of a given in that department. But in this situation, when you look at this phone on the screen, okay? So when you look at this phone on the screen, you look at this Oppo Find N5. I believe that's what it is, the Find N5. When you look at this phone on this screen and you realize that this is what it could have been, that's frustrating, man. I'm sorry, but that is really frustrating, especially when you consider the fact that this would have ran circles, leaps and bounds around the Fold. Now, software-wise, I do think that Samsung is better, but I cannot speak too much on something that I have personally never used. I really feel like now might be the best time to go pick out a OnePlus Open with all the discounts on it. Yeah, the phone may be a year or two old at this point, but the beautiful thing about these devices that we have nowadays, people, is that even a 2-year-old phone is still really good. Unfortunately, YouTube has gotten to a point where you will think that a phone that came out a year or two ago is not good anymore. And I don't know where that idea, where that ideal, where that methodology came from in the way that devices are reviewed nowadays, but that's just, it's not true. It is not true in any way, shape, or form. So let's see. I'm gonna catch up on the chat for a second. Let's see. Genosis said this is this indefinitely? Genosis, as far as we know, OnePlus has come out and said that we are not releasing a OnePlus Open 2 this year. So that'll be 2 years since we've had a new one at this point in time. OnePlus Open was cool. Samsung software is too good. I still feel like people be capping with Samsung. All right, D Mims, what do you mean by that? What do you mean by that? What do you mean by that? I need that sound clip. What do you mean by that? Need that one and the other one with the stop the cap. I need both of those sound clips so we can have those tomorrow night on the show. Micah Alexander says, I'm kind of glad it didn't come out as the Find N5 Part 2. I want the OnePlus Open 2 to give us a 5 periscope zoom if possible. That would be nice. That would definitely be nice. I mean, at least the OnePlus Open 2 is giving you a flagship camera, not the Open 2. At least it's giving you a flagship camera regardless. It's a lot better than what the Z Fold 6 gave us last year. And the Z Fold 7 is so far looking up to be another slap in the face. I we can talk about that after we're done talking about OnePlus. But if you're a Samsung fan, like if you're a Samsung fan, there has got to be a point in time where the conversation needs to be had of how long are you going to continue to allow a company that you praise and enjoy being a slap in the face. Like they're doing stuff in your face that's not cool. It's like somebody playing right in front of you. But we'll get to that. Grant likes tech. Grant, how you doing, man? Good to see you, sir. Good evening to you, man. Thank you for being here. Grant says that the Oppo slash OnePlus multitasking is very nice, better than Samsung to me. From what I saw on videos, I thought it looked really good as well. So Grant, I really feel like I can't argue with you on that. I do like the way that Samsung's multitasking is with having more than one, up to 3 apps on the screen. My problem is that after a while, it just feels like it's too much going on for me personally. When I saw the demonstrations of the OnePlus's multitasking, it felt more fluid and more easy to use, in my opinion. The ease of use was there for me personally. And the N5 has Oppo's pen support on both outer and inner displays. If you're a Samsung fan, I'm just saying. Mike Alexander says, and also don't skip out on the ultra wide camera by making it an 8 megapixel camera. Tech for your needs is in the building. How you doing, Tech for your needs? Good to see you. Let's see. D Mims, I'm going to go D Mims. He's got 2 comments here. Dwayne Mims says, I really don't think people give Samsung enough credit for the software. We'd be so stuck on cameras that we ignore the rest of the experience. Mims, there's nothing wrong. Okay, all right, let's look at his next comment here. He says, camera and battery needs to be updated for sure, but it's still the best overall experience than the OnePlus Open. All right, so Mims, I got to ask the question. All right, I got to ask the question. I'm gonna talk to you for a second. Did you have the OnePlus Open? If you did, let me know. Like, I do not remember if you did. So refresh me if you had the OnePlus Open, because I believe you picked up the Fold at one point, but if you didn't have it, I'm curious. Okay, he said, yes, I had the OnePlus Open. Okay, so Mims, what do you feel like the OnePlus Open was lacking in regards to software as opposed to Samsung? Because I know you've used Samsung products as well, so I'd love to hear your opinion on it in the chat. Drop that down and let me know, and we'll get to that in a second. Genosa said, I mean, Apple is the same way. All companies are the same way, but Samsung is doing it in a way that just really, it just kind of feels like, really? Because look at what happened last year, okay? Look at what happened last year. We got the Z Fold 6. Matter of fact, let's see. Here's what we're going to do. We're going to do this right here. I'm going to go ahead and pull this up for you guys here. Let's see. Z Fold 7 rumors. We're going to go to Twitter. And all right, so we got some Z Fold 7 renders. All right, we got some renders of the Z Fold 7. Now, I can't speak for the rest of y'all. I can't. But I have to ask the question. How many times do we allow companies to do stuff like this before we eventually say enough is enough? And what I mean by that, we could say Apple is the same way. We could say Google is the same way. You give us marginal hardware updates, but amazing software updates, whatever. But let's look at the Z Fold 7, right? Now, the Z Fold 7 is rumored to have a 200 megapixel camera. Main camera is rumored to have the 12 and 12 as far as the other 2 cameras are concerned. And as far as the dimensions and the overall look of the phone, right? It looks like it's going to be a much bigger fold than the Fold 6 was. Kind of like the Z Fold Special Edition that we was not allowed to buy here in the United States, or I believe anywhere. I think you could only buy it on eBay. You could only import it, just like you would a Xiaomi or a Huawei or an Oppo or any other device. You could only import the phone. All right. That's the first thing that I feel like was a slap in the face. But then to turn around to turn around in 2025 and say, hey, that phone that you guys wanted last year that we're perfectly capable of making, that we made, but wouldn't sell to you unless you paid an exorbitant amount of money to get it. Yeah, we're going to give that phone to you this year. And we're going to call it the Z Fold 7. Even though the only thing that's going to be different about it is we're just slapping a new processor in it. I personally, I don't like that because I feel like Samsung showed us that they're capable of better in the same year. You gave us the Z Fold 6 and then you gave us the special edition. So you showed us as consumers that you can listen to what we want and make it happen. And we don't have to wait a year for it to happen. But then you restricted it to the only a certain amount of people who could purchase it, only to turn around and say, now we're going to give it to you as the mainstream for everyone. I don't know, man. Like that really feels kind of like makes me feel like, man, let's keep it a buck. I'm probably still going to try to pick one up because I do love folding phones, but it really makes you question. It makes you second guess it a little bit, like, is it really worth it? Is it really something that I want to do? Because it's not just money. It's more so the loyalty that comes with it that a lot of people tend to confuse with their purchases. So that's just my thing. Let's see here. So I'm going to catch up on the chat. Mim said, right now, it's almost a deal breaker that the other brands still haven't figured out how to allow for a separate layout from the outside and the inside display. And then he also went on to say, okay, he's talking about the Z Fold 7. So he said, right now, it's almost a deal breaker that the other brands still haven't figured out how to allow for a separate layout from the outside and inside display. Mims, I'm going to be honest with you, okay? I feel like me and Mims are kind of going back and forth a little bit, but this is fine because Mims, that's my guy. I personally think that that's not a deal breaker for me anymore because at one point in time, I did love the fact that I could have the outer display set up one way, the inner display set up another way. But I've kind of gotten to the point where I don't really care because when I open the phone, I'm not opening the phone for a completely different user experience. I'm opening it because whatever I'm doing on the outside, I need more real estate. If I'm watching a YouTube video, streaming something, or whatever I'm doing, the purpose of me opening the phone in my mind has become because I need more screen real estate. Simple as that. So I don't have a problem with it, but because I want to make sure that I'm always, in my opinion, advocating, as we all should, for the consumer, the option should be there. The option should definitely be there. If the option is not there, then that is a disservice to the consumer who's purchasing that device. Some people may want it, some people don't. I mean, you rather have it and not need it than need it and not have it. I see Michael Peppertech is in the building. He says, good to see you. Glad to see you live streaming. Hey, Michael Peppertech. Thank you, sir. Good to see you as well. Let's see. Genosis said, Apple Intelligence is the biggest slap in the face out of all the iterations, in my opinion. 15 to 16 versus Fold 6 to Fold 7. Apple Intelligence and the iPhone 16 Pro Max. Listen, we could have a whole live stream about that. And we're not going to, not tonight. We could have a whole live stream about the 16 Pro Max, camera control, Apple Intelligence. We can have a whole separate stream about that. But I think right now, at this point, it is what it is, man. Like, it is what it is. The 16 Pro Max is a great device by itself. The battery is great. Cameras are great. It's an iPhone. It gets it done where it needs to get it done. However, what it was marketed for, yeah, nah. Apple could have done a lot better. It could have done a lot better, and it is very disappointing that a company like Apple did not do better. Okay? It's I can't speak for you guys. Let me know in the chat if you feel the same way as me, okay? I'm not going to we'll say put a 1 in the chat if you agree with this statement that it is frustrating as a consumer when a company that you enjoy does not do what you know they can. Okay? Put a 1 in the chat if you agree with me that it is frustrating as a consumer when the company that you like does not do what you know they can do. Because Samsung, Apple, I can't speak on Google too much because Google is slowly working their way into a place of like Google's listening. Okay, Google is doing their thing. But Samsung and Apple, the giants, the heavy hitters, Apple, we know you could have done better with Apple Intelligence. We know you could have done better. You've had how many years to fix Siri? How many years have we had for you to fix Siri? This was the moment. I don't care what anybody says. This was the moment for Apple to say, hey, we know you guys have been talking a lot of stuff about Siri. All right. We've heard you talk about Siri for the last decade. We know Siri is not good. And so Apple Intelligence is here to fix it. I would have been perfectly fine if they would have said, and it'll be out in October. And when it came out, it fixed everything. But instead, we're still working at it. And I feel like it just gets to a point where you are a trillion. I got to say it with my teeth together, $1 trillion company. And you are still trying to figure out the basics when it comes to the AI in your device? Come on, man. Come on. And don't get me started on what Samsung has done this year. Bluetooth S Pen. I'm not going to rave about that too much because I don't use the damn S Pen. I'm sorry. Didn't mean to, excuse me. I don't use the S Pen that way. But there are people who do use it. Little tiny things, battery tech, Samsung, get over the Note 7. God, for the love of God and all that is holy, I'm going to say it again. Get over the Note 7. You have the OnePlus 13, which is $400 cheaper than a S25 Ultra. Better battery, better screen, better water resistance, IP69, giggity. And it is $900. Samsung, there is no excuse for this thing to literally be almost the exact carbon copy of last year's phone. Although there are some great, amazing things about this phone. There are some amazing things about this phone. You have to call a spade a spade. You could have done better. And as a consumer who is spending that money, we have to do better. We have to do better at holding these companies accountable. And there are so many channels in the chat right now. All right, this is where I got to cut to, the professional thing. For those of you that are listening, if you catch the live stream, there are a lot of channels in this chat. D Mims, Michael Peppertech, BG Tech Life. You have people like Jojo the Techie. You have the Tech Preacher. You have Holla at Your Boy. Technically T. Grant Likes Tech. There are so many channels and creators in this chat that will do that. They will hold these companies accountable. So it's not just me, but it feels like we're the minority sometimes, man. Like it really feels like we're the minority sometimes. So I'm going to catch up with the chat. Because I see you guys are talking it up here. My man Jason C is in the building. He said, what's good, Mike? What's good, chat? What's good, Jason C? Good to see you, sir. Michael Peppertech says, I partially agree with Mims's comment, but it's worse when they make the left side on the inside, the first screen on the outside. I am not left-handed. Swiping to the second screen because I put my main apps on the right, on the inside sucks. I can understand that. Let's see. Apple iPhone Fold news is starting to pop up. We are starting to see iPhone Fold news. But Micah, I'm going to come back to your comment. I'm going to catch up on everybody else. I'm going to come back to your comment. I see quite a few people put the ones in the chat. Sharkfin Tech is in the building. Welcome, Sharkfin. Welcome to the show. Says, Michael Pepper says, Samsung is proof that software matters. They win the fold with software, but not the best hardware I have used. Similarly, the Ultra gets a slight advantage for some of the software that they have. BG Tech Life hit the nail on the head. He said, Apple never been known for AI or assistance. Look at Siri. I'm not giving Apple a lot of credit. I'm just calling it what it is. Apple has known. You can't tell me that Apple hasn't known that Siri is cheeks. You can't tell me Apple hasn't known that. But you had the courage to remove the headphone jack, but you didn't have the courage to fix what you pressed the home button down for? Come on, man. Oh man, D Mim says that Google has been stealing and gathering data for so long. Of course, their AI was going to be good. Apple needs to just buy a couple companies and fast track AI so people can hush. Hey man, now see, Mims, you making it seem like the only reason that Google's AI is good because they just out here harvesting data. Oh man, this man said, "Look, Mims, you're gonna get the stream shut down. Somebody gonna come lock this down and come knock on the door. Would they do? FBI open up? Like, come on, man, you can't be saying that in the stream." Let's see. Sharkfin Tech says Samsung is on the wrong track with the Galaxy tablets. Even as a fan, I'll readily acknowledge that and call them on out. Dropping the 11-inch model, downgrading to a bit of a MediaTek Dimensity. Yeah, exactly. Let's see here. Let's see here. Tech for your needs. As I just bought the iPad 4 in Pro, I agree with you that Apple Intelligence is not there yet. The correct word is trash. Ah, let's see here. Genosis, you did bring up a good point. Genosis says, didn't Tim on Twitter today say Apple is investing $500 billion in the US for AI in the next 4 years? Yes. Apple is investing $500 billion in the US for AI in the next 4 years. $500 billion, right? But 4 years from now will be 2029. How many years at this point will it be that we've been waiting on Siri to get good? Like, really? We still got to wait 4 more years for this to get right. We got to wait 4 more years for y'all to get this right. I'm going to share this with you guys. Let's see. We're going to remove this. We're going to stop that. I'm going to share this with you since Genosis brought it up. So Apple will spend more than 500 billion in the US. 500 billion with a B. 500 billion in the US over the next 4 years. Teams and facilities to expand in Michigan, Texas, California, Arizona, Nevada, Iowa, Oregon, North Carolina, and Washington. Plans include a new factory in Texas, doubling the U.S. Advanced Manufacturing Fund, a manufacturing academy, and accelerated investments in AI and silicon engineering. Now, this is amazing news. I'm going to tell you why this is amazing news, right? This is amazing news for a couple of reasons aside from Siri, because at this point, who cares about Siri? But I feel like this is amazing news for 2 years. Number one, this shows Apple's commitment to doing it. Will they do it the way that Google has done it by harvesting data of iPhone users? We don't know, but I'd love to see more about this. I'm probably going to read up on this a little bit tonight, but I would love to see more about this. But there's the other side of it because call me crazy, not going to get political about it, but jobs. This is going to create jobs for people. So that's awesome. I love to see that type of stuff. But let's see here. What did Tim Cook say? So Tim Cook says, we are bullish on the future of American innovation. And we are proud to bring our long-standing U.S. investments with this $500 billion commitment to our country's future, said Tim Cook. From doubling our advanced manufacturing fund to building advanced technology in Texas, we're thrilled to expand our support for American manufacturing. You know who else comes out of Texas? Samsung, when they get their new devices. Who wants to bet that Samsung and Apple are working behind closed doors on this? Just saying. I'm just saying. Everybody's in Texas. It used to be Silicon Valley, but everybody's in Texas. Everybody's in Texas. Mims, why you got to be so negative? See, Dwayne Mims is being real negative in the chat, you guys. He's being real negative in the chat. Let's see. BG Tech Life says Gemini will be a real life person in 4 years. Gemini will be the Terminator in 4 years. Judgment Day is on the way. You watch what I say. That's also, I don't know if you guys saw the Synthezoid robot. Not Synthezoid. I'm not sure if that's the proper name, but it's a robot that is like a human looking body with AI. It was really creepy. I'm not going to lie to you. I will leave a link in the description for those who want to check it out after the stream. But personally, I cannot look at that because I'm not going to sleep good and I got to get up for work in the morning. I got to take these kids to school and I got to get up for work. And I'm not going to look at that mess because y'all will be mad at me tomorrow when I don't stream because I couldn't sleep. Once it becomes human, they will change the name to Gemini. Stop it. All right, stop it. All right, man. Let's see here. So Jason C says, I question if this is a real commitment to American or if it's a political chess move with the impending Chinese tariffs. Good question. Good point. Marcus the Barber is in the building. Good to see you, Marcus. Hey, Marcus, cuz I ain't forgot about you. I still got the cases for you. I ain't forgot about you. Ah, so we are about 47 minutes, about 48 minutes into the show tonight. So right now is where I'm gonna kind of open it up a little bit. So I want to know from you guys in the chat. All right, I want everybody in the chat to just kind of take a second to just think about this, and I'm gonna ask y'all a general question. What was something? What? Mm, mm, excuse me. What was something good that happened today for you? All right. There are 23 people watching. I know there are some lurkers, so I know that everybody's going to talk. But for those of you who are chatting and for those of you who are typing, I want to know what is something good that happened for you today? Okay. Just put it in the chat. Let me know something good that happened for you on this Monday. Also, once you're done with that, once we're done with that, I have another question for you guys. But this is a little bit of a segment that I wanted to put in here for the show where I want to kind of close the show out on positivity. So I just want everybody in the chat, if you don't mind, just tell me something good that happened for you today. For me personally, it's my week with my daughter. So my daughter is, my daughter is I have my daughter every other week, and this is my week with her. So today when I went to go pick up my son from school, I was able to pick her up as well. So that was my good thing. I always enjoy when I get to see my baby girl and I get to spend some time with her. So that was my good thing. So yeah, I keep it simple, but it's a beautiful thing for me. Jason C says, my son who has had flu and COVID for the last week and a half went back to school. First and foremost, Jason C, I have a manager who had the flu and COVID, and he stayed out as long as he could before he unfortunately had to come back to work due to his position, but he was hurting. So, Jason, I'm glad that your son is doing well, and I'm glad that he was able to go back to school. I could pray for him to have a continued recovery and for him to continue to get back on his feet. I woke up and I'm healthy. That is something good. That is something amazing, Jojo. And thank you for that. Everyone in this chat should be thankful for that. So Jojo, thank you for that as well. Let's see. Tech for Your Needs said, I celebrate my pre-birthday bash live from my online community. My birthday is tomorrow. Nice. Tech for Your Needs. What time are you streaming? Please let me know. So I will put a link in the description of the stream tomorrow. So that way, if you guys want to go wish Tech for Your Needs a happy birthday, make sure you go do that because my man Lewis's birthday is tomorrow. Let's see. Michael Peppertech says, I got our taxes filed and it was super simple. Did you use TurboTax? I was stressing over it a bit as some of the documents I needed took a while to get to me. Man, Michael Peppertech, either way it goes, I hope you get all your money back. I hope you get some more. I hope the IRS don't come looking for you when you get it. And yeah, man. Tax time is an amazing time. T. Holla said, I had a chance to have a heart-to-heart with my son and really listen to his struggles as a 13-year-old and what he's dealing with in schools. I listened, then spoke, and he appreciated it. T. Holla, I want to first and foremost say that's an amazing thing in itself, period, because our children today, I don't necessarily fear the world that my kids are going to grow up in, but I do worry about it. Our kids are growing up in a world where between social media and so many other things that are going on at school that we as parents don't see, educators are strained and they're, on thin ice mentally, emotionally, physically in some situations due to the hours that they put in for our children. Listen, man, at 13, that's a pivotal point in life. And I think it's a beautiful thing that you were able to do that with your son. I know stuff like that is going to go a long way because for me, at 30, at 35, soon to be 36, I still appreciate it when I get to have a heart to heart with my dad. So, and if I'm being honest, I wish I would have took more advantage of doing that when I was around that age, when, I needed to talk to him about that type of stuff. So, man, that is an amazing thing, T. I love to see that and love to hear it. Janosa said it was a pretty average day at work with no complications. So a win is a win. A win is a win. Hey, man, a win is a win. Ghost Dog said, testing the waters on my value at work by talking to other similar companies. Know your worth. Know your worth. Know your worth and know your value. At the end of the day, the company will replace you if something happens to you. So be ready to replace them when it's time for something to happen to them. Ghost Dog, I support you in every way. Let's see. Oh, Tech for Your Needs said he's going to live stream tonight. Okay, well, Lewis, I'll leave a link for your channel in the description. So make sure you guys go over to Lewis's channel, holler at him, give him some support for his pre-birthday live stream. My man's Trenton. Trenton's Tech is in the building. He said, I'm late, but what up, Mike? What up, Trent? Good to see you, sir. The replay will be available. You can always go back and check it out. Or, shameless plug, hopefully after tonight is over with, you guys will be able to check this out on your favorite podcast app or streaming app, because I'm going to work on trying to get this set up as a podcast. So you will be able to hopefully find me everywhere within the next day or two at the Evening Recharge with Tech King Mike. Let's see. Michael Pepper said, also listening to my son reading and gradually having stuff kick in brought a smile to my face. BG Tech Life said, Joy Reid got fired from MSNBC, so hopefully she start her own platform on YouTube and take a lot of the watered down media audience. Man, I didn't know she got fired, but at the same time, there's always a door. It's always a blessing on the other side of something negative. Always a blessing on the other side of something negative. So hopefully she'll be able to do that. But man, so guys, with that being said, we're going to go ahead and get ready to wrap up tonight. I just want to say we had about a solid 20 to 25 people watching tonight. And obviously, I want to continue to get those numbers up. This show is going to basically be for you. Oh, he said, okay. I'm sorry, Lewis. I'm sorry. He said, I already live streamed. It was earlier. I should have been more clear. Lewis, that's not on you. It's all good, brother. It's all good. So, but like I said, guys, I want you guys to know I really appreciate it. For those of you that have been rocking with me for the last 55 minutes, I really do appreciate it, man. Obviously, like I said, the goal is to basically, I just want to grow. We're gonna grow this thing up, man. We're gonna grow this thing up. Community, all of that, man. This show, I want you all to think of this show as a nightly show that you can come home, do all your stuff, get the kids to bed, take a shower, take a bath, whatever you want to do. Listen, while you're in the bath, while you're in the shower, whatever. We're just gonna kick back, man. Monday through Friday night, we're just gonna kick back. Like Lewis said, hit the like button. If you are watching this stream and you are not subscribed, please subscribe to the channel. I would obviously appreciate it greatly. Thank you very much. But I don't really have too much more to say. Again, I think the biggest thing for me is just thank you for being here, man. Thank you for being here for the pilot episode of the Evening Recharge. I just realized I put 2 G's in recharge. Thank you for being here for the Evening Recharge. And I will see you guys tomorrow night at 9 p.m. Eastern Standard Time for the Evening Recharge with Tech King Mike. I hope you guys have a beautiful and blessed night. Like Jojo the Techie said earlier, I'm going to put this up. I'm going to put this comment up one more time because I want to make sure that we all know. If you woke up healthy today and you're 6 feet above ground, that's always something good and that's always something great. But when you go to bed tonight, I hope you do the same thing tomorrow. I hope you wake up. I hope you stay healthy. And I hope you have a great day. And I look forward to catching you tomorrow night on the Evening Recharge with Tech King Mike. I hope you guys have a great night. See you later.